high-risk investment. Trading on margin carries a high level of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Before deciding to trade, you should carefully consider your investment objectives, level of experience, and risk appetite. The possibility exists that you could sustain a loss of some or all of your initial investment, and therefore you should not invest money that you cannot afford to lose. You should be aware of all the risks associated with trading and seek advice from an independent financial advisor if you have any doubts. Market opinions. Any opinions, news, research, analyses, prices, or other information contained on this video is provided as general market commentary and does not constitute investment advice. Master the Markets will not accept liability for any loss or damage, including without limitation to any loss of profit, which may arise directly or indirectly from use of or reliance on such information.
Hello traders, and welcome to our live trading workshop today. Sorry, we're just few minutes late. We just had some technical stuff over here that we had to sort out, but we are here now. Let's dive straight in. For those of you joining in new for the first time, there's a format that we usually go through just to get you familiarized. Firstly, we'll go through some live trading trades, live trading potential trades to begin with, and then we'll cover the topic for today. The topic is an interesting one, and I know a lot of you are actually enjoying these topics that we're sharing with you. Today's one is going to be the full performance review for our January performance this year, and also 3 shocking truths that we will reveal to you, which will also help you in your own trading strategies and systems. And the last thing is that we will have a Q&A session and also update you of the upcoming events that is happening here at Master the Markets. This and more in this live trading workshop. Traders, those of you who do not know me, this is Tone on here, founder of Master the Markets, Illustrates Conference, and the Traders Open Day. So let's go straight dive in. Let me just bring up the other one as well over here. Let me see this other screen. You know what? With the other one, what I can do, I can actually click through and see which of the ones don't actually haven't formed the range yet. So I'll do that very quickly over here. And I will bring up this one here. We got the range runners here. So here we go. So let me quickly look at that, and then we'll pull it up on the trading view chart. I'm just going to find out which of these trades today haven't formed their range today. And also another thing that I also got to show you later on, let me just open that up. Actually, maybe I can do it even later. So I've got all of that opened up now. Okay, good. So that will open up. Now, GPUS at the moment, I can see that its range at the moment is not, it's only 38, isn't it? So it's not even done its 80% range yet. So that's something that we can look into. So let me just put a yellow here on here. I'll just take a look very quickly just at a few ones and see what is a viable potential for today. Those of you who've been following us for quite some time, you will know what we are doing really here. Those of you who don't know, I'll give you some reference links later that you can take a look. DAX over here is 269 at the moment, and here is 240, so that has done its range. Gold, on the other hand, this is looking good. It's $11, isn't it? So it's 110 already, is it? Is that what it has done? Yeah, it looks like it's done its range as well today, traders. Low 4858. Yes, it's done 110. Yeah, that's a pity. You can't really take that one. Dollar yen, I think this is done as well, isn't it? 130. Let me just check that. Maybe not. 130, 104. Now, do remember, just about 5 pips away, I don't think we can get a trade on this, really, to be honest. Yeah, that's a bit tricky now. those of you who've been looking at this strategy right from early in the morning, I know some of you are doing that. Some of you have learned these principles. This would have happened at about 7 a.m. Our time, really. And right now that's about 2, isn't it? Yes, so you would have caught that. That's a nice move over there. Brent futures, I think when I'm doing it in Dubai, I think we can take a look at that as well. I'll talk about that later on. We've been invited to come and speak in Dubai. So we will be doing some live trading there as well. Brent futures, again, it's done its range. A lot of things have done the range, isn't it? This is the thing with the US session. Most of them have probably done the range by now. But then there's another type of strategy that you can do. You can do continuation, but that is towards just the swing running, really. I've shown some of you guys that as well. This is $4.60 on silver. That's $4.71. I think, yeah, we're not really getting any hits at the moment. I think the only one I can see, according to our strategy here, is GBP USD, to be honest. So what I'll do is I will revert to this screen, or euro dollar is another one as well. So, and then we can push it out on the Telegram channel, and then you guys can take a look at that. So let me open that up quickly. So GBP USD, and then this will be easier for you guys to follow through. So I will close this ones off, and we will look at this one here. Right, open layout. So this one here, Euro USD. There we go. Okay, good. So let's go. Let's start with this one. So we got uptrend phase 2. So you see what we have done here, which is quite bespoke to us. And this is what we're going to be talking about very soon. Those of you on the email list, you will get exclusive invitation as well to one of our webinars that we're doing with our US partners over there. About 5-day workshop. Those of you can join in there as well. It'll be really amazing value. We're going to be co-presenting with others as well. So over here is going to be an uptrend phase 2. That's for the Ninja Cater team. That will all be in your emails. If you haven't in our emails yet, you can always join it at 7stepsofctp.com. I'll give that to you later on as well. I'll talk to you guys about that later. So we've got uptrend phase 2 here. You can see what we have done over here is that we've quantified the tops and bottoms. This is how we are actually getting our performance, and we actually boldly show all the wins and losses actually every single month. We don't shy away from that. I'll talk about that later when we go to the topic for today, which is the 2026 performance, okay, and the 3 shocking truths. Right, so this one here, that's an uptrend phase 2 on the 1 hour, and on the 15-minute, it's a downtrend phase 1 at the moment. This is why you need to quantify these things, traders. Also be subjective, isn't it? Without the quantification of your market structure, basically. So this is your downtrend phase 2. I'm liking this setup. If the lower time frames pull it down, it will make the 4-hour also go down to the phase 1 as well. Okay, so this is what we're looking at. Might be a bit quite late for the show. Maybe we'll wait for a bit of retracement here. So here on the 15-minute, we are having the stretch. Let me see. Let me see. I can see it from here, isn't it? Is that from today? Right. Correct. So yesterday's close to open. That's what it's doing. So this is an opposite stretch. So it's taken it out a little bit, but now it's breaking through it. So this one here is on the lower side, both, but latest is on the lower stretch. I'm just filling up this table. I'm going to show you guys this. We've also done a video on this one as well. And the good thing is, traders, the range line has broken to the downside. So that's a good thing as well. The interest rates are coming out as well, isn't it? Very soon. This is the lower side, Broad to ST ratio. I'm just going to take a look at that on here. That is actually NA at the moment. And has it taken out the previous daily low? No, it's not done that as well. Right, now I will show you this. So this is what I've populated, and I strongly urge all of you to do this as well. What I've really done here, traders, is that I first correlated the different time frames trends, okay? Right, and then from here, we are seeing that largely most of them are in a downtrend, right? Even though this is an uptrend, but it's in a phase two, which is a top to bottom, a counter trend move. Phase two is what we call that. Right, we only call it only two things only, phase one or phase two, okay? It's not an Elliott wave, but it's just either phase one or phase two. So phase one is in alignment with the trend, and phase two is in counter trend, against the trend, right? But the direction you see is still to the downside. It's a top to bottom move, which is in alignment with all the downtrends with the lower time frames, right? So that's what we got here. And then in terms of the stretch principle, that is also showing to the downside. So I got 5 columns to the downside. In fact, I got this column as well, 6 columns to the downside, you see. But just these 2 columns here are not really showing me anything. But I've got 6 out of 8. Majority is showing to the downside. And that's when my direction bias goes towards the short side. Now, when I was in IG Index and Ninja Trader and all that, when they invited me to talk, I mean, you get invited quite a few times, or 11 times in Ninja Trader and about 3-4 times in IG Index. You can see that all these parameters over here, right, the basis of them, okay, traders, is the objective of it is to get a direction bias first, okay? And the direction bias here, as you can see, is towards the short side, all right? So that's the first thing. All the objectives of whatever you're analyzing is to get one direction bias, okay? Just because of your direction bias, if you're saying short, doesn't mean straight away you jump into it. Then the next part is timing. When are you exactly going to get in, okay? So based on that now that I got my direction bias with this table, now what I will do is, I will go on to my lower time frame and position and time myself, okay? And when I'm going to time myself, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to look at this and I'm going to say, you know what, I'm not going to jump into this. I'm just going to go on the 15-minute time frame. Those of you who want to go lower, you can as well. But remember that that's where strategy construction comes in, isn't it? And how you actually position yourself, what rules you want to create, how you want to actually consistently execute. I'll talk about this more in our topic, okay, in January 2026 performance. So in that basis, what I'm going to wait for, right, a little bit here, you can see with all the volume indicators that I got over here, that you can see that it's all still pointing to the downside as well. So what I'm waiting for, I'll wait for a little bit of a retracement, traders, okay? Even if I do get a green bar here coming back up, okay? And at that point, if I do get a volume spike over here, or the volume maintaining as such, then we can put a pending order to go for the low side, okay? That's what we can do, right? If we don't get that, we got to sit on our hands, right? We got to wait for our setup. That's what we as professionals, we do. And that's what you got to train yourself to do as well, okay? This one, this range line, I'll just do it. I'll just track it as well. You guys can track it on your side also. I'll just put a white over here, and that's what I got. I'll wait for a good price action setup to come back, as I explained. I'll wait for a bit of retracement before I will take this, okay? Now, what I will do also, I will just do this very quickly. I can see 92, isn't it? 73. Some of you are asking, where can I find out more about this stretch principle? I will explain in a minute. I'll give you the reference links. So here, on the high, we got 13581, okay? So let me do that. And then minus the high, right? So here, the high, yeah, we got the 3581 minus the 73, 80% range, isn't it? 3508. I'm just going to mark that out, and then we'll see how far we are away from that. And then we can move into that. 3508. 1.3508. There we go, right? So we got 3508 there. That's your, when it hits that, that's when the range is fulfilled, okay? But I'm not jumping in to go on a continuation trade blindly. So we'll wait for some kind of a pullback before we get into this trade. If we don't get it, then we sit on our hands, okay? It's just not our setup. You see, over here, I always explain that it's not about just jumping into trades over here. We also got to teach you also how the professional thinks. And also, at certain times, you got to sit back and you got to wait, okay, for your setup to come, because so that all the three components of your trading system works hand in hand together, which I'll talk about later when we go through the topic, okay? Right, so with that said, and also another thing also over here is that I just remembered, we just don't give you the fish. I just want to keep trading, just give you the signals. Also, I want to teach you also how to become independent and how to fish yourself as well, right? That's what we all want, isn't it, as professionals, okay? So you see, this is good. I'm getting the volume spike over here. So let's see if we get that green bar after that retracing, and that will be really good because then we can see if it's a fake or not. And that will be the best one to get in. I've done previous videos, where we have seen us catch this all live in real time. So you can also revisit that. Now, what you all been asking for. So let me just give you all the reference links. Now, some of you also asking, where do I start? Okay, it's quite a lot here that I can really absorb. So the first place where you go to, right, is I would say highly recommend 7stepstoctp.com. Okay, so that's that one there. After here, after you put in all your details and everything and your number to get live trading updates, click on the green button, okay? And after that, click on I'm Not a Robot, then you will get these 7 videos being sent to your inbox. This will tell you how we have actually created the entire framework, okay? And how we got all this trend box actually all coded. Interesting thing, and I'm proud to say that most of these things have been coded. Actually, all of these things have been coded on TradingView, actually by one of our clients who just got inspired, just like you, watching all of this and got very impressed. And he said, you know what, let me just code everything in for you, okay? So that's how we got actually all of these things done. There are 6 trend variations actually, people only know about one only that we've coded into this trend box, okay? That's how we're getting it here. But how do you get the market structure first before you get the trend box, okay? So that is what these videos would teach you. How do you get your market structure so that you get your trends eventually? So then it will take you from step by step. The first thing, you will go through the main challenge that traders face, okay? Then how to solve that problem. And this was all done back in the 1960s and 70s, okay? It was done by the institutional quant traders. We were very lucky. I was very lucky to meet my mentor, who then taught me this, whom actually, he actually learned from his mentor, So my mentor's mentor is the one who actually, discovered this framework and everything. And it's mind-blowing, All our clients would join us. They stick with us for over 10 years and they say, you know what, this kind of material is really nowhere, Thiru. And it's so logical as well once you see it. And you can use it with any methodology. You don't need to scrape what you have done before. You can use this along with what you're currently doing, and it just gets more clearer. So that's what they're saying over here. So, the problem first, they discovered in the 1960s and 70s, which you go through in video 1. And in video 2, they say how to solve it, okay? The first step to solving it. And then we go through that, quantify tops and bottoms. And then after that, once you get the structure, once you've quantified your tops and bottoms, you get 3 critical strats, okay? Which I've done videos on as well. And you can then take a look over here. This will make so much sense, okay? And you can put this into any strategy. And then finally, how do you apply all of this into a strategy? So we give you all the examples and all that. I'll touch on this video 7 a little bit. 3 components of TS later on, okay? The 3 components of TS is very important for consistent performance, okay? We are all here to help you get consistent performance, all right? That's what we really want to own the space in. Now, right here, you can see that another thing that I'll also give you as well is a reference point. that you can find more videos and everything is our channel, youtube.com/master the markets. Now, those of you already subscribed, right? What you also do is you hit the all bell icon over here, right? What that will do also, after you click on the drop down arrow, click on the all bell icon, what that will do is that every time we go live, right, you will get a notification on your phone, so you won't miss it. Or if you can't even come live, you can put save later, you can watch it later, okay, on the replay mode. Most of our clients, usually watch our videos more than once. Right, so over here, what I would then suggest is, in terms of the home page, you can see that we're going live at the moment. Over here, a couple of things that you can see. I mean, today's one is 2026 one. I guess we didn't pin the 2025 one, but if you guys want to go and see 2025 results, you can see it over here as well. Over here, after that, these are all really good topics that you can go through as well. But a few ones that I wanted to talk to you about, because I think some of you are asking, is the stretch principle, wasn't it? The stretch principle I was talking about. So I was showing you all these things about, the range lines and all of that over here. This is good, traders. So we're getting what we exactly want. You see the stretch lines over here, and then I was talking to you about the BRO to ST ratio and all of that. So all that is explained here, the range and everything. Okay, really good videos to watch. A lot of people have watched it many times. So definitely go and watch that one there on the YouTube channel. And also our past live streams, you can go through them here, is over here. Or you can go through also in this section where you can see the whole list listed out. Okay. Great. So I've given you that one as well. So I've given you quite a few links over here. Those of you who've already watched our videos for quite some time, following us for quite some time, but still on the fence, or life got in the way, you forgot about everything, you can get the indicator right onto your charts, and you can combine that with everything. So you can get the SMIOE over here on this page, and also, you can go through it, and then after that, you can get it onto your charts. You can get the subscription that will pertain to you. Okay, so that's that one there as well. So, and then you can marry that up with even VSA principal indicators, or any kind of indicators. You can put it RSI, stochastic, name it, right? That will go along with anything. Trade Nation, a quick shout out that we want to give as well. They are the proud sponsors of our ETM annual summit, which happens once a year, every year. Okay, they are really, really great. Those of you want to open an account, you can find all the details in our Telegram channel, or in also our email as well. Okay, list. Now the quick thing is, some of you ask, okay, how do I get to an email list? If you're on 7-step CTP, just come register onto that, then you get onto the email list, and you will get all the updates over there. Quick thing also, I do want to mention Dubai. We are going to Dubai. We've been invited to Dubai over here, and that's going to happen on the 17th and 18th April. Some of our clients already booked tickets. They're coming in there, and we will see you as well. Those of you coming in there, that'd be great to see you all. Those of you in Dubai, that'd be good to see you all. Come to our desk and see us. We'll be in the Traders University zone. Okay, right. I think with that said, I will keep an eye on GBP USD. Other than that, let's swiftly move on to our topic for today, our performance. Now, let's see. Let me bring that up here. Yep, I've got that one here. Right. Okay, good. So let's go for it. So 2026 performance, all right. So let's go through that, and three shocking truths I want to reveal to you. The first thing is, most people, right, what they do not have is even to track any kind of performance. When I talk about performance, they say, well, what do you mean performance, right? How do I even track it? The reason why they cannot track it is, first, they don't have a strategy that's been written out or has been quantified. Now, the problem is, a strategy, even if you go deeper, right, there's 5 components inside that. Even these 5 components, people are not aware of, okay? So they don't know how to dissect it when something is not working. The easiest thing they know to do, and which I fell into the trap as well, this was about 15, 20 years ago, is that, if something doesn't work, they would just run to the next strategy, okay? But rather than dissecting it down into 5 components and seeing which one is not working, it's like, when a car breaks down, right? You go to troubleshoot and see, is it an engine problem? Is it a brake problem? Is it the wheels? Is it the doors? What is it? What's the problem over there? So that's how then you then go and troubleshoot into that. If it's an engine problem, then you go into the engine and then you rectify that. So that's the first one over there on the strategy. Okay, they don't have one that's written out the 5 components. Second thing, after they've done it, they cannot keep up with it. Consistency. Okay, maybe life comes in the way. They're not available. They're not committed. The why is not strong. Whatever reason it may be, they're not able to consistently execute. They see some losses. They get scared. They're not consistently can execute it. The third thing is then monitoring performance. Okay, they don't have this, the monitoring performance factor, right? They don't have a spreadsheet, which I'll show you later, which they can track the performance, which I'll show you in a minute about the our 2026 performance. And one more thing also, a bonus thing also, what they don't have is, which I'll talk about later. This is it's a very common question that we get, right? How do you build trust in your system and you let go finally? Okay, yesterday we were talking about this as well when I interviewed Mark Randall, which the video will be up in our YouTube section very soon. You guys can take a look at that as well. I'll touch on this a little bit, okay? Right, with that said, let's go on and let's tackle each one by one, okay? Now, first thing about no strategy. If you don't have any strategy at all, think about the 5 components, okay, of a strategy, right? The 5 components really are, as I've talked before, the first thing is concept objective. What's the concept of your strategy? And very importantly, traders, you need to know the objective of your strategy, okay? What is it looking to capture? And the trap that everybody falls into is that they're not clear of the objective of their strategy, and they combine about 5 to 10 objectives into one strategy. And that's why it doesn't work. So, the way to do it is, have different objectives for different strategies. But with one strategy, just have one objective. That's what you're looking at. And you got to get the concept also strong. Is it a mean reversion strategy? Is it a momentum strategy? What is it? Is it arbitrage strategy? All of these things, okay? So you got to get that very, very clear. Now, the next thing also then you got to get very clear is where you want to enter. I touched on this a little bit. Is your timing, okay? The third thing then you got to look into is your stop loss mechanisms. Your stop loss mechanisms are 2 types, are subdivided into 2 types. One is where should your initial stop loss go, and this is where our suck-in out of our 3 stats come into play. Okay, we got all the stats for this. That's why we go on in conviction. You will see in our results, in our performance very shortly. And then the last thing is your trailing stop loss. Okay, right? How do you want to trail your stop? Now the fourth thing is then your exits or your targets. Okay, when you want to place your target, right? Now targets are 2 types. Okay, one is a predefined target, and the other one is a intra life exit. Okay, after it's hit a certain level or something, and if after that it shows weakness, then you intra life exit as well. Okay, so that's the fourth one. And then the fifth thing is your very important, this what keeps you in the game in the long run, is risk management. Okay, these are the 5 components, okay, that you got to take a look at. Now, so I've told you all that. That's like how you build a car. I've told you the 5 components. This is only the strategy side of things. Okay, there's 2 more components in a trading system. Without that, you cannot get consistent performance. So here, all this we go through much more in detail in Traders Basecamp package. Okay, the next one coming up is in March. All right. So those of you who want to inquire about that, you can always email us at clientservice@masterthemarkets.net. Okay. So that's that one there on the 5 components. You need really a good mentor who's already been there, cross to the other side, who can really help you with this. Okay, that's when you can really get a strong strategy that you believe in has got an edge. Right, that's that one there on the no strategy side, how you solve it in terms of build your 5 components, write it all down. The next thing is there's no consistent execution, right? And why is there no consistent execution? As I said, you get scared when there's drawdowns, or your lifestyle doesn't allow it, all these things. So what's the solution? The first thing is, is the triple S. What's the triple S, right? Not only is it important to have a strategy that you believe in, but you must always, first, the S is strategy. Then the next thing is, fix your strategy first. Okay, with a good mentor, you can save yourself 10 years. Next thing is the story. Fix the story in your head. Like you're not good enough, oh no, is another month of loss. Oh, I just don't believe in any other training out there. I just want to do it all by myself. I'm around the corner. All of these things, right? You got to reevaluate for yourself, okay? The story that you're playing, change the story. Okay, maybe I should be open. I cannot be the most smartest guy in the whole universe, can I? There'd be definitely more smarter guys than me, that can guide me, that can, help me save time. And time is the most important commodity, right? So change the stories. In fact, some of the clients that we get are even more smarter than us. And that's why we want to build a strong community that, that builds the product stronger and refine it so that we move towards consistent performance in a very convincing, in a strong conviction, and we trade with conviction. That's the story side of things, okay? So fix your story. And the last thing is state, right? So you made a New Year resolution, right? We're in February. Most people would have already failed in their New Year resolution. Let's say one of the things was losing weight. And if you think about it, losing weight is a good example, right? The knowledge of losing weight is very simple, really, isn't it? It's two things, right? Exercise more, eat less. But look around you. I mean, 70, 80% of people can't follow that, right? And they're obese, isn't it? So you see, why is it that they cannot follow through? Because of these things, right? I mean, strategy mostly they got, maybe they don't have a very proper, clear one. But generally, it's those two things, isn't it? It's the story that they say that maybe I can't do it again, maybe I'll fail, I'm not sure, something that's going on in the background. But the state as well. If you wake up one morning and you don't feel good, or there's snow coming down, and then you just think, okay, tomorrow, you know what, tomorrow I'll go. And you know what happens, right? Tomorrow never comes. Tomorrow, then you come up with another excuse and you don't go. So that's the state, okay? That's what also Mark Douglas called it trading in the zone, isn't it? Write the book. You got to get into that zone. Okay, it's very, very important. It's a critical component. Okay, so they don't have. So you must have the strategy, story, state all fixed up, right? And what's the fastest way to get all this triple S? Is the LM. What is that? LM is hang around. The fastest way, I'm telling you, hang around like-minded people, traders, right? That's why it's very important for a strong community. In the beginning, because we're not taught all this, and then you just have, you go into a shell where you just think you just want to do this all yourself. But what we don't understand is, but you need this triple S, you need the state, right? You need to change your story. And the fastest way is when you hang around a community of like-minded people, especially led by a very strong mentor who's understood it. And not only that, they can pass you that as well, that knowledge. And it will make sense, it's logical, there's nothing to really memorize about it. And also the other thing, the biggest thing when you hang around like-minded people, which people underestimate, is the energy transfer that happens, okay? Like losing weight as well, isn't it? When you hang around people who have gone through it, maybe 5 times Olympic champion and all that, right? And there's a fitness instructor now coming in, because when you see them, there's an energy transfer that happens. You feel their energy, and that affects you, and that's what affects your state, your story, and it gets you inspired to keep going on with your consistent execution. So that's very, very important, okay? Hanging around like-minded people for that. Right. Now, then the final thing is there's no monitoring performance mechanism. Okay. Now, to do that, what you got to do, not only have a journal, and in that journal, what you do as well, you got to know everything. But the two things you need to really cover is system versus the cash curve. Okay. The system is what actually should have happened if there was a robot, or is an ideal scenario, take all the trades according to the rules. And then the cash, what actually happened? Because then as you know, there'll always be a gap between system and cash, right? Because sometimes, you get fearful after 4 months, after 4 losses, 5 losses, and then maybe you don't take it, and that becomes the biggest winner. So your cash then will lag behind the system, right? In the live trading room, which I'll show you now, the performance, it's only showing the system results, right? And most of our clients, when they begin with, most of the results are not correlating with what the system is showing you in terms of the results, in terms of the spreadsheet, where we log in every single trade, every single evening, and we give the trade call before it happens. So you need to have a system, and then you need to compare it, okay? So with that said, let me show you now our January 2026 results. In fact, it was very surprising for us as well, in terms of the results that we got. So let me just bring it here for you guys. So you can see that in the first month itself, we have about 16.27, right, profit over here across these three strategies that you are seeing over here. Now, we just don't type all this up. As you can see in each of the tabs at the bottom, we are logging in every single trade, and this is in a public chat Dropbox for all our paid members, right? For all our Ultimate Advanced members. So this is where we are keeping all these trades and everything. You can see on the TSL primary over here as well. You can see that every single trade is logged in. All losses, all wins, all not being shied away from. You can see over here as well, right? So, and that's how we achieve that. The biggest winners really, I mean, came from Aussie dollar, which actually flagged across the different strategies that we got over here. All systematically thought out of. But the first step is the framework, which 7steps to CTP.com talks about. But you see, one word of caution, right? As a professional, we always just don't look at just the profits, okay? We go deeper into the drawdowns, see the loss cluster. Is it more than our backtesting results, our reference results, or also our real-time forward testing results as well? So if you take a look now, I show you all the previous years. And January, you know what? I'll be very honest. Usually in January for the last 2-3 years, we haven't had such a big month really rolling through. So if you take a look at 2024, when we are logging all of this as well, you see the first 2 months was already a loss, right? It was already down 2.07. Imagine that, 60 days. Looking back is always easy, isn't it, right? Oh yeah, it was lost, but then finally March came back. True, but you don't know that when you're trading in real time, right? So, and then April gave it back. Look at that, right? And then in June, it gave it all back again. This was very tough year, 2024, right? Finally, our biggest month came in September. Didn't give it back that much in October and November. Look at that, 11.72. So one thing this tells you also is that not every year is going to be the same. So how do you build the trust in your system? Then if you look at 2025, right? 2025 also was okay, but the first 2 months wasn't that great. If you take a look over here, first 2 months, we had a drawdown, 3.86. And the same thing happens every year. We log in every single trade. Look at that, right? And this is all headed by our clients. Lawrence, who heads the live trading room, has been with us for over 10 years, right? And he just saw this and he said, you know what, Tiru, I just want to stick with you guys when he first joined us. And he was very young and very nice, very proud to see his progress. And now he's got funded accounts, he's got his own personal account, and he's passed them as well, right? And now he tells me, nobody else shows to this transparency. And he knows it because he's the guy who's actually, because he's learned all these strategies now. He's the one who's running the room. When he goes through all these drawdowns, he's the one who still keeps putting the trades out, right? Incredible amount of resilience, phenomenally proud of his progress, right? And so many of the stories that we have, when we actually release our masterclass webinar, which I highly encourage you guys to come and watch, you will see all their stories. It's really inspiring. So you see in March, then it came back up again. April came back. May was good. June got back a little bit. July was good. 28.79. And we thought that was it. Usually after July, then it withers down a little bit. But we were surprised again. September and October, yeah, we got back a little bit. 26.9. But then look at November and December. We got that a lot from silver. The silver run. We caught that silver run. Okay. 54.57%. Now in 2026, as you have seen now, so that usually doesn't happen, in January, okay? 16.27, right? So it comes to my last point here, and some of you might have this question ringing in your head, which is, how do I trust the system? Because you see, in 2024, if you take a look, right, okay, first 2 months of drawdown, you got this, you're happy now, right? You're up about 3.29%. You lose it back a little bit, win a little bit, and then you lose it back all again. 6 months, you're almost breaking even. How do you build trust in this? And remember, some of you are asking, is this all intraday, all this? This is all end of day strategies just because of availability of the time of most of our clients, right? We got a lot of intraday strategies for those people who got more time. But you see, end of day, basically because most of our clients are 9-to-5 workers, right? Or business owners. Don't have time in the day. That's another thing, you got to manage your expectations because Remember what I said in the second component? If you don't have consistent execution, you can't achieve these results. So you've got to be very realistic about the time availability that you have as well, right? And also, your finances as well. You got to be clear. If you think that every single month trading is going to make you money, then you're putting yourself under immense pressure, okay, to pay the bills, right? So how do you build the trust and let go? Okay, but if you take a look at 2025, then you can say you still got to build trust, right? Because the first 2 months were not profitable, right? Some people would have dropped out by then they miss a big month, 9.54% in March, or 8.26 in April. So how do you build your trust, right? Or in 2026, where we got 16.27% in January alone, you might say, oh, January usually doesn't get good results. Let me just take a break from that, right? And then you would have missed the biggest month. So how do you build the trust and you let go? The first thing I would say, traders, is you got to have this four personalities alignment. Okay, I know we're running a little bit short of time, but I'll just cover this quickly. We cover this much more in detail in Traders Basecamp package. The first thing first is understand that, okay, I'm not saying that you're a multi-personality freak or none of us are, but think about it in this way, okay? The first personality that actually the ancient sages and all that, they dissected, they went into subjective scientists, they went to go and study our entire being, right? So they said that the first thing is our physical personality. That one everybody can understand, right? So our body, you can touch it, hands, senses, all of this, five senses, sight, touch, hear, smell, taste, okay? So all that. So that's the physical personality, okay? Then the second thing is what we call the intellectual personality, okay? The logic and reasoning, okay? Should I take this trade or not? Should I not take this trade, okay? Is this the right time to take it? I just remembered, traders, on cables, isn't it? Yeah, that's kind of setting up. Maybe we can take a look at it in a minute or two. So intellectual personality, right? So logic and reasoning, okay? Should I take this trade? Should I sit on my hands? Just like the GPUSD that we are taking a look at the moment. All of these things, okay? That's your intellect. Why should the strategy continue to work, right? Why should I continue to trust it? All this is in your intellect, right? On the edge of your system. The third thing is, even though you may have all that figured out, but you still need emotional alignment, right? So even though you may make a resolution today that, I'm going to stop eating junk food because it's not good for me, and everybody knows the logical reasoning for that. But the ultimate test comes when you go to the supermarket, when you go down that aisle of the crisps aisle, and this happened to me, right, as well. And you start to look and you see like, hey, I love that crisp over there. The Thai sweet. I used to like Thai sweet chilies and the Walker Sensations one. And then that is it. The emotions start to crave in. You start to crave for it. Your saliva starts to droop. And then you start to think, what? Forget that. Just for this 1 week, I can just have that crisp. And then the intellectual conviction just goes out of the bin, right? So the third thing, the emotional alignment must be there as well with the logical reasoning. And that is strengthened by the why. Okay? Why are you doing this? And you got to keep drilling it in. And there's many, many ways you can do it to get the emotional alignment. Finally, is the last layer is the spiritual personality, or you can call it the consciousness layer, whatever you want to call it. That is the deeper layer, and a lot of literature has been written on it. But this fourth layer, right? When you're in that layer, the spiritual layer, or the consciousness layer, that's when you're in the zone. It just everything just flows. You're in effortless perfection. That's when they say you're in the flow state, even some people will call it. You're in the zone. So how do you tap into that? But that is eventually after you align all these three personalities together. So you got to work on these three personalities, traders. Okay, that's why you really need a coach and a mentor who's been through all of it to guide you, not only just guide you on a knowledge basis, but also from a energetic basis to transfer the energy to you and then shift all that story and state within you as well. Okay, so quite a lot that we covered today. Remember, there's quite a lot that people underestimate actually, on what it really requires to achieve consistent performance. Okay, they just think it's all about strategy. As you have seen, it's just a small component. Not only we covered about having a good strategy, writing all that, the five components and all that of a strategy. Not only that, then you also got to have consistent execution as well, the psychology component, right? Which you need to have as well. The third thing is then you need to also have your monitoring performance mechanism. We call this the optimization component, right? To know when to tweak it or when not to tweak it, okay? So you need all these three components, and there's so much layers in each of them. And how do you trust and let go is on the second one. After you've nailed all these 1 and 3, is the second one where you align the 4 personalities together, okay? So great, traders. I think we covered quite a bit today. Definitely, if you guys need to revisit this, definitely go and revisit that and look through it. Okay. So this one here, I'm just looking at cable. If this one does come down over here, and then we'll wrap up from here. I know we're going to shoot past time a little bit here. If it does do that, on here, isn't it? And then towards our range, right? Let me just take a look here. It might do it. I'm not getting a very convincing signal here. I will keep an eye, but if there's anything that we can do as a small one, 10 pips from here, 3523 is first target you can do. I am suspecting that this will do a little bit of retracement first before it comes down. So you can wait for that if it does that. Okay, so it's not my best setup yet. I will wait for it to come back further down. If I want a tighter stop, I'll do it on here. So as a first initial one, we can take a look at 3533. I'll just type this in and you guys can monitor it as well, right? GBP USD, short. I can put this on a Telegram just to monitor it. See how it goes. 3533. This is why I told you, right? So this is in real time, isn't it? In the right edge of the chart. That's why sometimes you got to wait patiently. You can't just jump in. 3533. This one, the stop 3552, 1.3552, and then the target. The first target we can go for is 3521. Okay. Is that right? So the low 3533. 3523, sorry, 3523. Good. I have sent that over. You can get that into the Telegram channel as well. You can see that, and we'll see and track it. Last week we had a good trade as well. I think that was in our email as well that went out. You all can take a look at that as well and the learnings behind it. So great, traders. I think with that said, just a quick reference to all the links for you all to start off with. First place to start, 7stepsctp.com. I can't reiterate this enough. After that, then you take a look at the 7 videos after you put all your details in here. Look at the 7 videos, will take you systematically and methodologically as well. After that, then if you want to get the indicator, or those of you on the fence, definitely get it. And then you can then play around with this, right? It's really, really powerful. I'm telling you, it's very systematic, very logical. And take the leap of faith, do it, and then you can then work through it. There's a small discount code as well for those of you who want to get it. So you can see that also in the chat box. Okay, we're giving it to the first few subscribers this month. Right, then after that you got the YouTube channel or YouTube channel as well, youtube.com/master the markets. And after you hit the subscribe button, hit the all bell icon. Okay, so you got that one as well over there. And then Trade Nation, quick shout out to Trade Nation over here, who's our proud sponsors of ETM Annual Summit as well. You can open up an account, you can find out the details on our email list as well. Really great broker, really very friendly, really look after you as well. And very tight spreads too. And then finally, our prop trading, we got invited to the Dubai Expo over here, 17 and 18 April, to come and speak over there. So you guys can catch us there as well. Some of our clients are flying in, so I'll see you all there. And those of you in Dubai as well, we'll see you there as well. I think with that said, we will wait and see how this cable moves on we'll keep an eye on that. Other than that, traders, as we always say, till the next time, stay disciplined, follow your trading plan, and keep trading like a master. Take care and bye for now.